All right, this is the brand new GolfForever training system, and we've seen countless tour pros using it, including world #1 Scotty Scheffler. But can it really help your average weekend golfer? Well, we're gonna put that exactly to the test, as Mike and I are going to be using this every single day for the next 30 days to see not only how much better we potentially feel, but how much better we can perform on the golf course. And I'm gonna tell you how we're gonna measure that right now. All right, so like I said, we don't want this to be just subjective. We wanna be able to quantify this with some real data. That's where the D-Wiz watch is gonna come in. This incredible little device measures our swing down past 1/100th of an inch in multiple dimensions. So we're gonna be looking at 3 key factors. We're gonna be looking at our hand speed, which of course, the more hand speed we generate, the more club head speed, the further we can hit the ball. Secondly, we're also gonna be looking at the length of our backswing and the width of our backswing, which we would think should improve as we become more flexible and are able to rotate more, hopefully through using the GolfForever system. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a baseline right now. Mike and I are each gonna take 3 swings. We're gonna measure that to see where we are. Then we're gonna go through the 30-day program and we're gonna see if all of those numbers improved.
All right, I'm ready to take my 3 swings. First driver swing, D-Wiz is fired up, ready to go. Let's do it. All right, shot 1, length of backswing 52.5 inches, max hand speed 16.1 miles per hour, and the max backswing width 25.1 inches.
All right, we got Mike's numbers. I'm gonna hop in there and get mine. Now, undoubtedly, you probably have a lot of questions about how GolfForever works, so stay tuned because like I said, as we learn it, as we use it, we're gonna go through it all. We're gonna go through the components. We're gonna talk price. And like I said, we're gonna give you the pros and cons as we experience it, but we're gonna be experiencing it in real time throughout this video. So stay tuned. We will go through that, use cases, indoor, outdoor, all of that. But again, like I said, gotta get our baseline first so we know if it actually worked. Okay, got our initial data. Length of backswing, 53 inches. Max hand speed, 17.6. Max backswing width, 26.3. 2 more shots will show all of our averages. Okay, so here on the screen are each of Mike and I's baseline numbers, including our averages. We're gonna be looking, of course, to see if those improve when we take our final assessment in 30 days. And we're hoping that the GolfForever system should make us more flexible and stronger to see improvements in these key categories.
All right, day 1 of the GolfForever training and fitness program. I'm stoked to get it going. It's March 1st. We got 30 days of this ahead of us. Without further ado, let's get started.
All right, I just finished the first workout. It was more challenging than I thought it was gonna be. And more importantly, I learned that I'm not nearly as flexible and I'm far stiffer than I thought I was. So there's some motivation to go through this program and hopefully come out a lot less stiff, stronger, and more flexible. But that's just day 1. We'll see, we got 29 days left. All right, guys, it's day 10. Time for a progress update and time to dive into this system a little bit more. Mike and I have been using it now for a couple of days. We're really getting familiar with how the GolfForever works. And I wanna break down the actual equipment we've been using and show you guys what we think so far. So I'm heading into the studio right now, gonna meet up with Mike. He's got his own experience with it. So we're gonna dive in right now, let you guys know what we think so far about this GolfForever system and if we think we're gonna see some results. All right, Mike, day 10. First of all, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. A couple of aha moments I got, I'm gonna share with you in a second.
Okay, and I'll tell you what I'm feeling is sore.
Yeah.
Well, no doubt.
In a good way though, and I'll give you, I haven't had a workout or exercise routine probably since after college, so it's my body getting reused to it. There are times I'll look up the stairs and the last thing I want to do is walk up the stairs because I am sore, but I'm sore in a good way. So we're going to talk to you guys a little bit about how the programs work for us so far, and most importantly, I know if you're watching these last couple exercises we've been doing the last couple days, you're probably wondering about the equipment. One thing that's really important to say here too is this is not a sponsored video in any way. We are not working with GolfForever on this in any way. One thing I will say is though, is we did ask them and they did send us the units to try, but that's where it begins and ends. So everything here is our own thoughts on it. We're gonna give you what we like and we don't like, but I'm gonna tell you right off the bat, I really like the system. So we're gonna talk about why in a second, but let's first just dig in. I know you guys have been seeing us using the product and are wondering what some of these things are. I do like this carry case because I've been taking it back and forth. You've been working out at home.
Super easy, yep.
Here, different places.
And it's not a lot of stuff inside, which I love.
It's not. This is what I was worried about. When I saw that it wasn't a lot of stuff, I was worried, how much can I really do? One thing I'm gonna say is that in these 10 days so far, I haven't repeated even one exercise.
Yeah, me neither.
And what's really was interesting to me is that you and I did our assessments. Our assessments were not that different as far as where we are physically. Yet you're doing completely different exercises from me.
Right.
So it does tell me that this is not cookie cutter. They say there's over 1,200 different videos in the system and growing, and they serve those to you based on an algorithm of where you're at, your assessment. So chances are you and a buddy could be doing this same program and be doing totally different exercises. We'll talk more about that in a second, but let's just run through. And one thing we'll say is that you do not need this equipment, this GolfForever equipment, to do the GolfForever program. I know that sounds confusing, but think of it as this way. There's two different things. You've got the equipment and you've got the app, right? So the app is what you see us using. We have it on iPad, iPhone, Android. The app is there. The app will cost you $24.99 per month. Now, if you sign up for a year, it drops down to $16.58 per month. So it's about $200 for the year. When you first go into the app, and we did this, you tell the system what equipment you have. So it's gonna ask you, do you have an exercise ball? Do you have a foam roller? Like you checked that you had an exercise ball.
I did, and dumbbells and things, and some people don't have those things, so it customizes it. Right.
Right, I didn't have one of those. I said I had a foam roller. So in certain spots, it's telling me use a chair, use things that you have.
Right.
So this here is sold separately, this system. It'll cost you $199, so about 200 bucks there as well. But you do get a lot with this, but if you really wanted to piecemeal it, you could go on Amazon, I would imagine, and buy some of these resistance bands. Probably cheaper. However, I will keep coming back to this quality. I really like
They're the most quality bands I've ever
They
used.
are, they are. So running through this really quick, what we got here, Mike, how much have you been using this?
This is great. I'll start every single workout. It's cool because in the GolfForever app, you'll have a fundamentals, which is your stretching first, which by the way, after you do that, you're ready to hit the tee.
Yeah.
They say that as like, oh, now you can go hit the tee. They're absolutely right.
Yep.
You're fully loose. But on top of that, I like to just start this with this in a couple of swings. And this is staying in the golf bag, you know? So like, this is something you should purchase no matter what. If you don't want to get all this stuff, I love this for swinging because, I don't know, it just mimics that warm-up club.
Well, the reason it mimics it so closely, and you'll see there's this ball that goes on the top of it here, which you see sometimes us taking off, and here's an anchor point for things like resistance band training. But with the ball attached to it, it actually makes this a D3 swing weight. So what that means is that it's balanced exactly like your driver, and it feels like a driver. However, it's about 3 times heavier than your driver. So you can warm up with it, and like Mike was saying, each module as we go through day to day has 2 components. The first is that warm-up routine, and the second one is your rotational power. But one of my favorite parts of the system so far, and where I've gotten tripped up before, I've done some online training, and I find I lose a lot of time just scrolling through like, what workout am I gonna do today?
Right.
This takes that out of your hands. It feels in a lot of ways like just having a personal trainer who just sets you up.
Yeah.
So each day you go into the app, you click today's workout, and there's no choice in that regard. It puts you right into the workout that sequentially builds upon the other stuff. So you got this. It's got, what I like about it, it's got the multiple markings, G1, 2, 3 is the green in the middle, 4 and 5. So as you're getting that instruction, they're saying, you know, hands at G1 and G4,
right.
or modifications for if you're stronger, where you can put that. So that's what works there. You've got the 2 different balls that come with this system. One is that D3 swing weight to mimic your driver. The other one is more weighted. It just says heavy ball on it. And this is for something for more heavier workouts. And then simply the other things in here is we've got 2 of those resistance bands that Mike was mentioning earlier. One is labeled a light resistance. The other one is labeled a medium resistance. I believe on their website you can also buy a heavy. I would say for 90% of the population out there, this is going to work between the light and the medium. Remember, the further you get from the anchor point, the harder it's going to get.
Yep.
So you can vary it. And this is my first time, I don't know about you, Mike, it's my first time training with resistance bands, and it is a different type of training.
It really is. It's awesome training.
I'm so used to weights and stuff like that. I am loving the way that this resistance builds, especially for rotational, as we turn, and then you're able to keep that resistance on as you turn back. So really cool. One question a lot of you are going to probably be wondering, and we were wondering, is, okay, I've got these, but I don't have a gym per se. Like, how do I anchor it? So tell them about that.
This is all you need to anchor it. So this is the door anchor, where you could put it in any door at your house, which I love. It's so easy because we all have doors. You could put it in a car door. So that's cool.
Yeah.
So if you get to the course and you want to just be that guy in the lot to stretch it out, you just throw this in a car door and you can do it. So what it does, it goes in, and then the anchor side here just kind of clips onto here, and that's where you're creating that resistance.
Exactly. So that goes right into that door jam there by the hinge. And the nice part about it is every door has the 3 hinges. So they'll tell you whether they want a high, medium, or low anchor point, and that's where you anchor it. And some of the different exercises we've been doing just uses the bands with these grips that come with it. In fact, one exercise I'll show you real quick that just lit me up the other day, Mike, I'm still recovering from this in a good way, was they had me just put these on like this. Then I was stepping on the band with one foot, keeping the other foot up in the air and doing one-legged squats.
There you go.
So one thing that I do like from a golf standpoint is that a lot of the exercises, at least what I'm noticing, they're the components of strength, but also of balance.
Yeah.
So you're building all of those little muscles.
So listen, 10 days in, I'm feeling good, but I want to show you the aha moment. So after 10 days of doing this, I feel like I'm able to do not only this, but I'm turning here. There's a position I don't think I've been in my life. No pain. I could stay here forever. And I couldn't do that before. Everything was just frozen. So 10 days of rotating and all this rotational power, and it already has done some pretty incredible things. So I'm stoked for the next 20 days.
I tell you, you can tell we're not only working on strength, but balance. Some of these require a lot of coordination and balance, and both of those are good for the swing.
Oh man, all right, it's March 21st, first day of spring. That means golf courses all over are starting to open. So I'm trying to get in the best golf shape possible because we are going to be filming so much, and I mean it, so much golf at incredible golf courses around the country this year. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe because you're going to see some good golf from this guy for sure.
Think of your backswing.
Okay, this is it. The final day of our stretching and rotational power programs before we retest our swings with D-Wiz. And listen, do I think that my body has been magically transformed over the last 30 days? No, absolutely not. One thing I will say that I've learned is that this is certainly not a quick fix program. However, I can certainly say that I am confident I'll see some sort of gains when we test tomorrow. But I can't stress enough that I definitely feel like the real benefit from a system like this is going to be over time. It's funny, a lot of the instructors I've heard talking through the different routines have said the same thing.
So as always, remember, change comes with commitment. Keep coming back to these routines. They'll change your body and radically improve your golf game.
So let's get through today's final workout, and then tomorrow is the day we test to see quantitatively with the D-Wiz watch in a measurement scenario if we're able to move better through the golf swing. I'm excited to see how that goes. All right, today's the day when the rubber meets the road. Are you excited for this or what?
Results day.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
30 days of grinding. I am very interested to see what we're gonna do. So, just as a quick recap, I'm gonna put on the screen here all of our initial numbers before we started this test. Ideally, we're hoping to see some improvement from the work we've done with GolfForever over the last 30 days. While we're taking these swings, we're also gonna go through and give some of our own personal pros and cons with the system.
Definitely, sure.
Talk about what our own experience was, so from a more subjective standpoint. So let's hop right in. You've got your D-Wiz all set up.
All ready to go?
We're gonna do, you guys remember from last time, 3 driver swings. We're gonna take those measurements from D-Wiz and see if we've improved. You first, and then I'm up.
All right, let's do it. So first swing, length of backswing, 54.5 inches. The max hand speed there was 16, and my max backswing width was 24.9. So the thing I love the most about this program was the ease of use. It's all on the iPad or phone or whatever device you use, the app. The workouts are pre-selected for you as the day's workout, so it's easy to do. That's my #1 favorite thing. Time is limited. You come home, you start the workout, and they're not really that long. So that's what I love most about this program. All right, length of backswing, 55.2. Max hand speed, 16.1. And my max backswing width was 26.2.
So you definitely, that was your longest length of backswing in the test so far.
Okay.
But, you know, by an inch, but that was your longest one so far.
Okay.
So there's a little bit of progress.
And that instantly shows that they're getting more rotation?
You're definitely turning a little bit more. So that's encouraging. Let's see one more.
Let's get one more good one. All right, that felt pretty good. Those numbers look pretty good, Frank.
It looked like good contact there.
All right, I'm gonna let you go and then we'll reveal the rest of them.
All right, guys, so hang tight. Like Mike was saying, we're gonna show you all the numbers at the end with the averages, and we're gonna compare them against how we started out. I'm gonna take my 3 swings now, and I'm gonna tell you some of my pros and cons, because Mike and I definitely had similar but also different experiences with the GolfForever system. So I said it yesterday, I'm encouraged by how much more flexibility I feel like I have, but I haven't measured it yet. So let's see if we're able to get some better numbers here. Okay, moment of truth. Whew. Are you ready for this,
Yeah,
Mike?
hit me.
So for my hand speed, 17.7.
Okay.
Which is good.
Yep.
But this is where I'm really seeing something different. Length of backswing, 60 inches. 60.
Frank
For
unlocked
perspective, my previous best was 56.1.
Yep.
So
Wow.
60.
Big
That's
gains there.
encouraging. Max backswing width, 28.9. So a little improvement there too.
Excellent.
All right, so my initial thoughts too, and cons for me, like I said, we have slightly different experiences. Maybe it's all perspective. Mike was saying how quick some of the workouts felt to him. In my case, sometimes, I mean, I'm often crunched for time, and there were some days when I would get like a 43, 45-minute workout. So one thing I would say is if you are somebody who's really pressed for time, these are not quick 10-minute workouts. Some of them are a little bit longer. You have to work that into your schedule. One thing I will agree very much with Mike on though is as I continue to do this, because undoubtedly I will do that, I'm gonna move to maybe a 4 times a week. Every day was a little aggressive, and I ended up sore at times, like Mike said. So that was a struggle for me. But I'm encouraged by that first swing, so I wanna see another one, and then I wanna talk about why I feel like I've got a little bit more motion, a little more movement or range of motion in my swing right now.
Solid strike.
Felt so good. Just beat my best hand speed.
Give it to me. What do we got?
18.4 on the hand speed.
Fast.
Yeah, and another good length of backswing, 58.5. And max backswing width, 28.2. And just to give you a little bit of an idea of what those numbers mean, obviously that backswing width is this distance here, so getting nice and wide. And then that length of backswing is the total travel, which really, as I said, it was something that I was feeling as I was doing some of those rotational exercises and some of the exercises that really felt like they were opening up my range of motion. Previously, when I would swing, I would get to right about here and start to feel that stiffness. I mentioned earlier, stiffness was a big thing for me. Now I feel like I can comfortably get another couple of inches here and without getting stiffened or any type of pain or anything like that. And I think I've got to attribute that to all of those rotational power and rotational, flexibility exercises we've been doing.
Right, and it seems to me that you've always had that ability. You just had it locked and frozen. You just had to somehow open it up somehow.
Right.
So it seems like it's working.
Just before, that was as far as I could turn. And when we see that hand speed, remember, a lot of that is coming from, as I can turn more, I can generate more hand speed coming down. So let's hit one more and show you guys those averages. All right, so we've got some really encouraging numbers. So we're gonna show you all the final numbers here, and we're gonna compare them to the before numbers. As you can see, Mike made some definite gains in that length of backswing.
Yep.
I made some gains that I'm really encouraged by. And I think one thing that we want to definitely say is that it proves that every body is different.
Right.
I saw more gains relative, but it's relative to myself. I had more of a restriction and was able to, as you said it so well, is unlock it.
Unlock it. And the key for me now, or for us, should be not to go back to sitting at a desk and tightening everything back up. So we got to keep going.
Exactly. We're going to keep this going. We mentioned earlier we got a big Myrtle Beach trip coming up. We're bringing these with us. And we're going to give you guys constant updates and let us know how we progress with the system. But if you have any questions, let us know about them in the comments. We've been using this for 30 days. I feel like we've got a pretty good handle on it. Regardless, this whole test was a lot of fun, and those numbers are really encouraging.
They are, man.
If nothing else, two guys who are going to be doing this for quite a while.
Yep, no doubt about that.
All right, so guys, let us know what you think in the comments, and we'll see you in the next video.